Hi, my name is Andrea, and today I'd like to show you how to make some pride pins to celebrate Pride. So as you can see, we've got some different pins here with some of the many flags from the LGBTQIA community. I've personally got my little ally pin here. These are a great thing to have around for June, as it's traditionally Pride Month, or any time of the year really. So what you'll need for base materials to make these is you're gonna need something to turn into your buttons. So for instance, I had a bunch of these little wooden discs around, so I got creative and I found some hot glue, and then I went and found an old button I wasn't using anymore, and I was able to get the pin back off of it and hot glue it onto the back of this one. So, you know, do whatever works best for you, but that's a good way to get a hold of some pin backs if you're not sure how to. And then once you have that, to decorate it, you can do it any way you like, of course, but I recommend as a bare minimum is you're gonna need some kind of glue. I recommend Mod Podge because that kind of seals it in, keeps it waterproof. You could do some markers, some paper, and you're definitely gonna need scissors. One thing you could do if you would rather not decorate your own and have a nice pre-made design, I would recommend going to, this is from buttonmakers.net. They have a pride pack on their website that is pay what you want. So you could pay up to $5 or you could pay nothing at all. They just put that out there for people. So that's where several of these designs came from, like our pansexual and our transgender flag. But say you want to design your own pin. So that's what I'm gonna do. So let's go ahead and get started on what that would look like. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take whatever we're using for a button, we're gonna put it on our piece of paper here, and we're gonna trace around it. This will allow us to create a design while knowing that it's actually going to fit on our button. Okay, so I have decided I would like to do pronoun pin. So my pronouns are she, her, so I'm gonna create a pin to show that. All right, so I've got my pronouns here, and I could get pretty wild decorating these, but for the sake of time, let's move forward. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut them out with my scissors. Now that I have my design. Okay, it's not very pretty circle, but it's gonna work for what we wanna do today. So I'm gonna put it on top of there, just make sure I'm happy with how that looks. I think because I had to trace around my button, it made it a little bit bigger than it strictly needs to be. So I'm gonna trim it down a smidge. Right, so then the next step is you're gonna get your glue of choice and you're gonna put a layer directly on the surface of whatever you're using for your button. And you remember, if you're using just like printer paper for this, you don't need a very thick layer of glue. I actually wouldn't recommend that, so try and keep it kind of thin. Pop this on top. Kind of squish it down, try and avoid wrinkles there. So you could leave it like this, but honestly, this is a bit prone to, what if it rains when you're out on your march? Well, then the ink is gonna start to run. So I actually recommend, especially if you got Mod Podge available or some kind of sealant, go ahead and coat over this. And I am going to take advantage of the fact that I have some glitter, and I'm going to put it on mine. So of course, you can put glitter on as many different ways as you can think of, but I like to mix my glitter in with my Mod Podge. That helps it actually seal the glitter onto the button versus if I coated it in glue and then sprinkled it on top. It can shed off pretty easily versus if it's coated in the glue, it's really gonna stick on there. All right. Sorry to the nice people filming me, you're probably gonna have glitter around your studio for a long time. So go ahead and gonna mix my glitter in there. That's not enough. There we go. Right, and then we're just going to coat our button in that. I actually recommend if you're gonna do markers, I found from personal experience, if you do a water-soluble marker like Crayola, for instance, you know, the traditional wash bowl, what's gonna happen is when you put the glue on there, it's gonna kinda give you a nice watercolor effect, which is what you're going for. That's really nice on your pen. But if you want the color to not run, that's why I use Sharpies or a permanent marker like that. All right, and then we are all done, so we just have to wait for that to dry, but that's the basic concept. Get some glue, get some paper, decorate the paper, glue it on something, you're good to go. Please feel free to go to our website, mesacountylibraries.org, to check out some of our awesome book lists featuring LGBTQIA+ experiences and authors. And be sure to have a wonderful and happy, safe Pride this year. Take care.